Game number 3 is getting underway right now. RDU has got to get something done because he needs 3 straight wins on the board, but we're going to find out if Dog's just going to beat him up again.
Yeah, and like you said, that matchup can be rough, but he had one of the opening hands that, can help you win that matchup pretty easily.
RDU going to swap over to Grim Patron Warrior here, and Dog, he's running back the Rogue deck, and I've heard mixed opinions about this matchup so far.
Yeah, I feel that like the people that are really good with Rogue feel that they're favorited. People like Purple and Dog probably feel that they're a favorite in this matchup, but it also matters how good your opponent is with Grim Patron Warrior. Again, one of the harder decks to play in Hearthstone.
The other thing, too, is the way it's built. I'd say our build like Nyria's, where it had shield blocks and shield maidens in there, I think that has a much better chance versus Rogue than a traditional build, which kind of forgoes all the armor.
Yeah, shield maiden is a big point for that, because not only does it give you extra armor and, you can get out of the range of them actually killing you, a 5/5 is really hard to deal with out of the Rogue deck. You don't want to sap that card.
Yeah, exactly. Typically that's that's where the spot where Rogue takes advantage of that stage of the game is you play a 6-drop, they sap it, and then continue to go forward. But when you pick up 5 extra armor off that, that's a big difference.
You're like, I don't want to sap this.
Dang it.
I think Dog might get aggressive here and play this Earthring Farseer. I would like it.
I don't mind Earthring Farseer on 3. This deck just wanted another 3-mana 3/3, and Earthring Farseer has more utility at some stages of the game, so it just makes a lot of sense to have it in here. And frankly, I think it makes a lot of sense to play this here as well.
Also, it messes up with RDU's curve a lot. If he has something like Fiery War Axe or Acolyte of Pain, which you see that he actually has both, he has to decide on which one that he wants to play this turn.
Yep. So he's going to get Fiery War Axe. Does have shield block in his
block.
deck.
There might be some shield slams in here.
And this is probably one of the reasons I think RDU chose this matchup too, is because he knows he's got that little bit of extra armor available.
Yeah, hard to pass up the Fiery War Axe here, though. You can't leave minions sitting around on the Rogue side of the board.
But Piloted Shredder, one of the best minions that you can play against Fiery War Axe, gets in a lot of damage. But the drop here is very important. Dog needs a big one from this Piloted Shredder. It's a 2/3, not too bad here. It is going to sustain against the Armor Smith. And RDU kind of reluctant to use spells at this point too, because the Trog will grow.
Yeah, the Trog will grow, but this is actually really good for RDU here. He's presented a good board state. Dog has to start to deal with this stuff, but he has an Emperor Thaurissan coming next turn as well.
Yeah, Emperor Thaurissan, one of the biggest drops in this deck. And so Dog's going to have his work cut out for him. Does have tools, I think, to deal with it, but really has to get ahead on board at some point and apply pressure to RDU, because if he's not applying pressure, he's not getting the job done.
Yeah, if you let RDU sit around with this deck for, even 3 to 4 more turns, even getting just 1 trigger off this Emperor Thaurissan, you're going to have a hard time winning this game.
Yeah, Dog even understands the importance of having this threat on board. Look at this, he's just going to eviscerate a 2/3. And this is sort of a testament to how strong Gnomish Inventor actually is. You kind of look at it, 4-mana 2/4 that draws a card. Not a big deal, but when you're fighting a small minion battle.
Yeah, and having 4 toughness is kind of big too. The fact that you can continuously damage it over and over again and have cards like, Frothing Berserker get gigantic off of it and stuff. It's so much utility in this deck.
Yeah, RDU even going to play it patiently here.
Not going to play the Emperor, interesting.
Yeah, Unstable Ghoul and Acolyte of Pain, but Dog's going to take full advantage of this.
Almost, snapped off the sap on the Acolyte of Pain, but he's going to rethink this a little bit.
Yeah, there's a possibility I think he wants to sap the Unstable Ghoul instead.
Well, I was going to say, he drew a Deadly Poison, so I think it's going to actually change up his play here.
Yeah, just going to let RDU draw 2 cards. Not really too many ways to play around that, but sort of the bigger story here is that he's got the board lead right now.
Yeah, and that's all Dog is really searching for here. He doesn't mind giving a couple extra cards to RDU, because if he gets that one turn where it comes back to him and he has a minion on the board, you see Tinker Sharpsword Oil in his hand already, you see a Blade Flurry, and you see a sprint to reload afterwards.
What a draw from RDU too. Deathbite's so good here, but Emperor Thaurissan, is this going to be the play this turn, or... he's got a lot of different ways to go about this, but one of the scariest things you can do is leave minions on the board versus Rogue.
Yeah, and the thing is, if he plays some spells this turn and doesn't interact, he might have forgotten that Trog gets a little bit bigger every time.
That's also, I don't think he's really going to forget that one. Maybe forced into doing something like that, but really the big difference here is Emperor Thaurissan better or is Deathbite better right now?
Well, the thing is, if you set up Deathbite, you already have Warsong Commander plus a Grim Patron and an Inner Rage, so you can have a gigantic turn. Next turn, that's what you're seeing him actually take a look at here. So it's hard to pass up Emperor Thaurissan here as well. So there's arguments for both sides. It's really hard to pass up putting a Deathbite into play, but if he does this, I have to believe he's going with Emperor Thaurissan.
Yeah, I agree as well. No reason to, take that out if you're going to use Deathbite on this 3/3, I don't think, and Emperor Thaurissan is going to be what it is.
I think Dog is completely okay with this. He's got a great turn set up with Sap and Tinker Sharpsword Oil if he wants to. He could really push a ton of damage here, but
yeah,
you got to believe he's going to sprint.
Yeah, he has to. I think if he doesn't sprint here, he's never going to find a turn to get that sprint off.
Oh, backstab, big pickup here.
Yeah, preparation or backstab both would have been very good here as well. So cannot blame him for the sprint whatsoever. Does have to take 5 damage in the process though. And this is, I think, something that RDU is looking for, is to put Dog in these positions where he's having to invest a lot of resources and then capitalizing on it later.
Are you going to cycle the shield block here? Picks up Frothing Berserker. You're going to definitely see him get this Death Bite into play. I have to believe this turn.
There's no way he's not playing this Death Bite. This is impossible to not
Now,
play.
do you take care of this SI7 agent? I think you.
No, I think
you go face. Yeah,
let's say Dog's gonna do you 27 damage this turn, or he loses the game.
Yeah, look at Dog's face too. I think he knows as well that.
Yep. I don't think he's got the tools really to do it either. Antique Heal Bot, that's a great draw for Dog.
That was a good
pronouncing how big of a draw it is itself, but
it looks like it ended the turn for him.
But here's the
almost.
thing now, with 2 minions on the board, this is going to help beef up this Frothing Berserker, and with Battle Rage drawn, 2/7, he's got the coin in his hand too, so he's got mana to play all this stuff. He's going to continue to be patient, and I don't mind this, frankly, from RDU. You know, you give him 1 more turn, he adds Whirlwind into this combo as well. I mean, how on earth is he going to beat this?
He's going to be able to set up a gigantic turn. Next turn, does he use his Death Bite this turn, though?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, I was about to say, well, I mean, he's considering taking care of Dog's entire board here. He is actually considering, because he has a Whirlwind in his hand, and he has double Warsong Commander, double Frothing Berserker. So there's a chance that something changes in his math here, but you got to believe he's going to continue to play it patient.
What could Dog draw actually to get this done? Is Backstab actually enough to kill him here?
Well, yeah, backstab your own guy.
No, he doesn't have the mana for Blade Flurry.
Yeah, he can't play the Blade Flurry as well. If he had 10 mana, I think he could win this turn.
He would have 19 plus 7, so he'd have 26 points of damage, so he'd be 2 shy of it at that point.
Pretty unbelievable that he can get that close.
Yeah, I think he's going to have to just go all in on the Tinker Sharp Sword Oils and hope it works out for him. You know, the other thing, too, is after both these minions being at 1 actually pulls a lot of the pressure away from him, because they're not going to sit on the board for multiple Whirlwind effects. So a Frothing Berserker isn't going to get quite big enough.
Yeah, and you're going to see him actually sit back with a 7-point dagger here, so he has a big Blade Flurry set up next turn as well. He could take care of anything left over on the board from RDU. It's actually a decent setup.
Yeah. Oh, Armor Smith gets drawn, too. RDU's got so many ways to play his turns now.
Yeah, the thing is, you have to do it at a speedy manner as well, though. You have to go through all of the animations that go on.
If 2 Frothing Berserkers is enough here. So the first Whirlwind will have them grow 5 points of damage each. That's 10. The second one will have them grow 3 points of damage each.
Yeah, because he can't do both Frothing Berserkers and the Grim Patron at the same time.
I think that RDU is 1 damage off lethal this turn.
Because he can't get the Grim Patron into play as well and get all the extra effects from it.
Yeah, it looks like he understands that he's going to have to take a defensive play this turn. Again, 5 minions damage on the first Whirlwind. That's 10 extra damage on the Frothing Berserkers. The second Whirlwind's going to give 6 extra damage. That's 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 from the 4 power on the Frothing Berserkers, and then 24 from the Death Bite. Yeah, he's 1 damage off. So very close.
That Antique Heal Bot.
He's got to do something quick, though. I mean, he's running out of time. There is a small likelihood he misses an attack here from this Grim Patron. Yeah, is even going to coin Armor up after this. So puts himself out of danger of just a single Blade Flurry, but
probably doesn't get any attacks of these extra Grim Patrons here.
Yeah, just gets 1 extra Grim Patron. I'm pretty sure that missed. You know, this is the danger. Yep, this is the danger of taking your time on these animations, is that they do take time to resolve as well.
The hardest one to deal with is Sludge Belcher. You have to like wait for it to die and have its Death Rattles trigger, and it gets interrupting in your
yeah, and this is actually, this is a big turn for Dog to retake control of this game. He has 2 options here. You can either go Blood Mage and Blade Flurry to pick up extra damage and get the Blood Mage on board, or he can just sprint first.
Yeah, you got to wonder if he is actually going to draw all the extra cards to his turn in Blade Flurry, or is he worried about dying next turn and has to Antique Heal Bot again?
I think the Antique Heal Bot is fine also just to get pressure out on the board. You know, the fact that he gets the extra card from Blood Mage too has plenty of time to put together another board position.
Yeah, Dog weighing all of his options here. You definitely think, you have to know he's going to Blade Flurry here.
Yeah, he gets 8 more points of life out of this Antique Heal Bot as well. But he does give RDU a lot of armor in the process too. So RDU's up to 10,
yeah,
Dog's back to 25, and has a really strong amount of burst damage, but it's not quite enough to get everything done so far.
Yeah, but RDU can clear this entire board and make 2 pretty big Frothing Berserkers turn and put a lot of pressure on Dog to answer. He can go Warsong Commander, Frothing Berserker, Whirlwind to execute this turn, and that is not shabby.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that he's seen 2 Tinker Sharp Sword Oils, and he's seen a Blade
Flurry
from Dog.
Reach from Dog is gone.
It's just also a lot of just the removal from Dog is gone at this point, so I think he has to go for this.
And you see the other Blade Flurry in Dog's hand.
He needs something big, though, and you can see Dog just shaking his head like, really, this is your draw? But he does have 2 draws now. If he picks up a Deadly Poison, suddenly RDU is down to the felt on his cards. He's going to have nothing left. These are a couple very big draws for Dog right now.
Yeah, Deadly Poison would just be the best one. He's going to get some extra draws at it, too. The Azure Drake.
Yep. There's one more draw this turn. He's down to
He's
11,
got 10
though.
mana, so he can Azure Drake into a Deadly Poison.
Oh,
there's the Deadly Poison.
Jeez.
He actually gets into 3 damage here as well.
What a draw from Dog. You know, that sprint and the fact that he has the Blood Mage, those extra card draws are so important in this game, and this is illustrating to you why. Even played a Fan and Knives earlier. Every single card draw really matters here. And now RDU, this game has been so back and forth. He just throws out a well played.
Yeah, I don't think he has an out.
I don't think he does either. I mean, he's going to have to draw Shield Block this turn and then have a way to deal with Azure Drake afterwards. Oh, still a glimmer of hope for RDU, but once again, this draw is so important. He has to pick it up right now.
Yeah, he can only go to 5. Dog has 5 on board. There's a shield block. Uh-oh. There's a chance of some runner-runner action here.
Doesn't have enough to play Deathspite this turn, but now he is up to 10, so Dog has an opportunity once again to find some damage here and put things together. Loatheb, I think, is going to shut this out, though.
Yeah, this is going to pretty much seal the deal here.
Yeah, that is a lot of
pressure. Just in
pressure
case
to
the
be
game
dealing
goes
with.
longer, he's got Prep Sprint in his hand, just
Yeah,
waiting.
just why not? Even going to push damage with his dagger here. It's 1/6 of RDU's life. Cannot blame anyone in this situation, and RDU is going to need a miracle. I mean, I think Deathwing is about the only thing that's going to get him out of this game.
What a well-played game on both sides, and what draws from these players, too, when they needed them.
RDU actually can stay alive for one more turn here. He can 6 mana execute this Azure Drake, and then just armor up again. So not dead just yet.
Yeah, well, Dog can just sprint for, I think he has an Eviscerate left in his deck as well.
He's got plenty of damage left.
I think he's down to almost the bottom of his deck, so.
Yeah, I mean, look at that deck. It's got basically nothing
there we
left. Yep, SI7 Agent gonna be enough. Just needed any amount of damage from his deck to get this done, and he's gonna take this series 3-0, back-to-back sweeps here tonight.
Yeah, 6 games, 3 wins to each side. Moving on, Complexity looking good here tonight.
GG for them. They take 2 straight wins. Beautiful stuff.